Hi YouTube, I want to do this video. I'm talking about Michelle Williams. Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child has checked herself into rehab for depression. She checked herself into rehab because she felt like she needed more help regarding the subject and an issue that she's been dealing with for years in terms of her being in the spotlight, her being in a popular group, her really being a gospel singer and touching a lot of people with her music and her voice, and just being everywhere, acting, singing, being a person that looks on the outside as a happy person. She just recently got engaged, so that's another thing that makes you think that you know she doesn't have a care in the world. She has success. She has a new relationship that she's building. About to be married, but she still had these demons that she's been fighting for a long time. The thing about depression is like a friend that is not a good friend, someone that is trying to kill you. Depression is a friend that's trying to kill you, where it seems innocent at first, then as time progresses, it tries to take over in every positive aspect of your life. It shuts out the lights. It doesn't want you to see what is the good things, the good people, the good places, the good feelings. It wants to cloud everything that has light. It's a darkness. It wants to take over every aspect of your life. You can have an eating disorder. You can be addicted to drugs. You could be a sex fiend. You could be an alcoholic. You can be abusive. It doesn't matter. Every aspect is heightened with depression. It turns into suddenly just a, a, an escape. You start to feel comforted. You start to feel like it's a good thing. I know what it feels like. I know that it takes you down to a dark level, and it keeps you there. It tries to keep you there. You're always trying to lift your head up. Then something comes and brings it back down. And it's usually depression. Depression is the worst actual a silent killer, because it starts with little things, then it add into more things. Um, it's almost like sometimes you could just sit and look out the window for hours. You can question yourself, you can question your life, but it's usually all the negative things that you can think of rolled into one. The thoughts start to turn into actions, and this is why you have suicide. A lot of things about depression is really internal battles, internal demons that you fight on a daily basis, but it's not there to help you. It's not there to lift you up. It's always there, especially when things are going wrong in your life. It's there when you know things that you want to achieve, you don't seem to be able to get close to the achievement. Things that you want to discover, you're not able to discover because depression takes over. And having all of that bottled up, it creates a chaos in your life. It creates a focus on something that's negative when some people might be trying to get through with positivity. Some people might want to be trying to reach you, but you kind of block them out because they're not or could ever be as good a friend as depression to you. After you're used to it, you feel like this is the best way to cope with things. Let yourself fall into this pit it's like you're in a dream and then you're falling, and there's branches that you can grab onto on the way down. But depression doesn't want you to reach for them. Depression wants you to sink and fall down further and further. And then it goes to a stronger, higher level. You know, the thing is about the black community for years have really shied away from shrinks, psychiatrists, the psychology, you know, study of the mind. Um, these are issues that need to be addressed because in the black community, it was always like a taboo thing to go get help, to go see a doctor. That's why I wanted to do this video on Michelle Williams, because that's a good, strong message that she's sending. You know, she could have sat in her five-star hotel room dealing with it herself. She is a spiritual person, so she definitely knows that God is available to for her to lean on. But sometimes God sends you help, you know, sometimes. But do we take it, or do we just let the depression friend come in and take over and comfort you? Because it's a comfort, you know. You know that depression really backs up every negative thought you have. So in some ways you feel like it's the truth, but it's really a lie. It's a deception. You know, it could cause you to gain 100 pounds. It caused me to definitely gain 100 pounds. I lost it, but it definitely caused me to go into a darkness. You know, I had a lot of death in my family, but a lot of death close to me at certain ages. That was very vital ages for people. 16, lost my father. 21, lost my grandmother. Our family has had a lot of deaths. I lost a lot of aunts back to back to back, and cousins and uncles, and you know, these things stack up. And then you have your regular life issues. You know, you could have lost everything. I've lost everything a lot of times, and I really felt like it was nobody there to talk to. It was, you know, I did talk to God, and that did help me. That did, you know, put me in a better mindset and mind frame. But I'm glad it taught me to fight depression. Depression is always going to be peeking up, coming around the bend, just trying to overtake you. Um, it's weird because it's not an easy thing to do. Everybody has different issues, different paces of life, different changes in life, and depression is not something that would go away, but it's something that you have to be aware of. It's something that you have to realize the pitfalls of what could happen, you know, if you let it take over. Getting help is not something that you shy away from when it comes to depression, because it's a strong demon. It's not something that you can really handle on your own. You have to kind of break it down, just like it tries to break you down. You gotta find out what the issues are. You got to go back in your past, but a lot of that you can't do on your own. Sometimes you got to talk to someone. You know, definitely people commit suicide all the time, and you wonder how. You had everything. You look like you were successful. Maybe to the outside world, they look successful. They had a successful career. They had a successful family. You wonder, you know, how could someone kill themselves knowing that they have kids? You a selfish individual. Um, these are thoughts that people have for the dead. And then sometimes you hear people dying. You hear jokes about people, you know, that died. Certain celebrities recently were murdered, and people made jokes and distasteful things. But overall, depression is not your friend. It's not not something that you could get over quickly. It's not a pill or anything you could take that could overcome that. What the only way you could really overcome that is to learn of it and to be able to face things that bring it on. And every time those things come to try to bring you down, you know that depression is soon about to peak out. So you gotta focus on anything positive, positive people, surround yourself with positive people, control yourself, your actions, learn what makes you tick. Stay away from things that might trigger depression. You know, it's a really tough thing to do, but Michelle Williams taking that step is a good thing. You know, it's not really done. You know, this is it's really my focus is on talking about how it affects the black community, how it's not looked at as something that people want to take part in. Um, if you don't talk to or have the money to talk to a psychologist, you gotta have talk to whatever you feel is guiding your spirit. You know, I would say God, but you could say it's something else. Whatever you believe is a light or a power that, or a higher power that makes you feel strong, that makes you feel confident, that makes you feel like you're worth it. And, you know, mainly making you be able to tell your own story and affect other people in a way that will lift other people up, that will show love. Love is really the answer. Show love, you know. I saw this lady and she was uh, she was on the way to talk to me. She went, she looked like she walked a long way and it was late at night. I was at a drive-through and she came up to the window, but I knew what she was going to ask for. So my new thing is I don't have cash. I don't carry cash. You know, only because so many people ask me for cash or something that I just stopped carrying it. I'm a debit card person, you know, so when this lady came up to my car window and I thought, I know she's gonna ask me for money. She didn't ask me for money. She was really hungry. She asked me for food, you know? And so she was like, "Can I get one taco?" And I said, "That's all you want?" She said, "Yeah, I'm hungry, but I definitely, you know, appreciate whatever you can do." So I ordered her more than one taco. And, you know, when I pulled up to the drive-through, I paid for it and I went to the end of the drive-through and she was right there. I gave her the bag and I gave her whatever change I had, you know, and I let her know I don't carry cash. But that's the one time I wish I did carry cash. I would love to have gave her more. And what it did was make me feel that I was fortunate. I was happy that I could help her and I could give her more of some kind of positive reinforcement because she was living hard, you know. It was late at night. She was by herself. You know, it wasn't even one of those things where I assumed that she was on drugs or anything like that, because people think that because somebody's out there, they don't have money, they don't have a place to live. You think, oh, they're doing something to cause this. But sometimes with what I've been through and what I know to happen, things just happen to you. Things just happen. And it's how you deal with it, you know. But that lady was so calm and she was so sweet. And she looked like she was okay, you know. She looked like she could handle herself in a situation that she was in. And she was honest. She was just hungry, you know. I still gave her whatever change I had, but I felt good because I've been in a place where I had to ask. I've been in a place where I had to beg. Um, and it's not a good feeling because you want to be someone that is self-sufficient, in charge, in control, and some things just happen to you where you're not in control. You don't have any control. That's why you lean on a higher power. I lean on God, but you lean on a higher power because that's all you have sometimes. And love is really the only way for you to break out of the friend that's depression, or the frenemy that's depression. You have to know that you're important. You have to know that you can give yourself to other people. You don't have to distrust everybody. You don't have to. Talking to me too, because you know you go through things and then you don't trust anyone after a while. It's like when you were younger, you were more trusting. You kind of put your faith in people, and then people start letting you down. You start losing people, and then you start to feel like, oh, this is it, you know. And then images of things that you didn't know all the answers to, you just kind of assume that, oh, this is the way it happens. As you get older, you start to decline. But you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to decline. You don't have to do anything that to hurt yourself, because not loving yourself, being depressed, takes the light that you could give to other people. Back to the lady at the drive-through. I felt so good after that, and it was weird because I was already feeling good, but I felt even better. It was like, man, if I could help people all the time, that would be a great gift. If I could help people all the time, if I could use my life to help other people, that's more than and better than monetary benefits, getting money, getting cars, getting whatever you want, helping somebody, helping a little kid. I met a couple, a white couple at the movies, and they were like so cool, and they just start talking to me, and just seeing the love between the two and seeing how they were kind of like a unit, even though they were two separate people. But it was just more like them expressing love. They was just showing love. Didn't know them, never seen them in my life, but they were showing love. They didn't care who it was. They were displaying that, and it felt good, you know, allowing people a chance to speak, allowing people a chance to, get a little piece of you, like your time, not looking at the phone. you know, our phones are our new companion. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Wow. I was really supposed to be talking about Michelle Williams, but I ended up talking about all kinds of stuff. Um, dealing with depression. Um, One thing is, don't listen to Michelle and Cello's Foolish if you're depressed. I'm just saying. That whole album was like, back in '99, was like something that was deep and something that was really sad and heartbreaking, and it strummed those feelings of depression and emotion, and it cultivated feelings of pretty much sadness and things that I already felt. But it was just a whole project that kind of evoked all kinds of feelings that, sometimes you need to turn on some bright music. Sometimes you need to open that window shade. Let the sun peek out at you. Look at the sky, look at the birds. Take a walk. But sometimes you just need to be around beauty, be around love, be around positive people, sometimes you gotta laugh. Laughter, all of these things really help put depression in its place. Depression don't go away, but it does put you in, it does put it in its place. So you let me know what you feel if you experience depression. Do you feel that getting help is not a good thing? If it's a weak thing to do? Do you feel like getting help if you have depression really works? You let me know. I think it does. I really do. I think it does. It does work, and it needs to work, really, because you don't have an alternative, and the only other alternative is not something that you want. You don't want to commit suicide. You don't want to eat yourself to death, drink yourself to death, sex yourself to death. You don't want to be someone that is not able to utilize what the gift of life is. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be someone that devalues their life and creates sadness for others around. You don't want to be that person. If someone is negative, you just got to let them go. You got to get away. You got to get them from around you. And if you could do that, you'll be already winning the battle. So you let me know. I wrote a book called Scared of Light, The Dream Memoirs of Russell Banks. And this book has a lot of characters with a lot of different issues, I definitely wanted to talk about teen issues and a lot of different things in this book. But it's also a fantasy, so it's kind of like a urban Harry Potter, but it doesn't have that focus of, sorcery. It has a focus of more light, more positive, light versus darkness, good versus evil, all of these things that people deal with. And the lead is a person of color with abilities and powers and things that make for a good read, entertaining, fun. But then the issues of realness that they go through, dealing with depression, eating disorders, um, teen dating abuse. It has a lot of deep, heavy issues underlined in the words, and if that can affect you in a good way, that's why I wrote it. So let me know. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. My links are at the bottom. Scared of Light, The Dream Memoirs of Russell Banks. You can purchase it on barnesandnoble.com or Amazon and a lot of other retailers. If you want to know a lot of the buy links, go to scareofthelight.com. You can read a synopsis of the book. The ebook is available as well. So if you just want to download it to your computer, your tablet, your laptop, you can definitely do that. If you want a physical copy, you can order that too. It's definitely a good read. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you for hitting me up. And I will see you in the next video.